Hi guys, welcome back to the Shannon Show podcast. Hello if you're new. So today's episode is going to be a review of Love Island 2020 episode 8. So obviously we've been anticipating it. We know there's a new girl coming in. But before we get into the new girl's entrance, let's just catch up on the show. So obviously in the beginning, Connor makes Sophie breakfast in his boxes. You know, it's very cute. I don't think she enjoyed the cheese toasty. But I feel like it was a very cute gesture and I feel like she appreciated that gesture. Obviously, regular Connor is just lurking around and he's like, oh, what you call it? Oh, he's making her tea now. I bet that cheese toasty is dead. And I was secretly hoping that she enjoyed the cheese toasty, but obviously I guess Connor's suspicions was right. So then obviously Sophie's having girl chat with Paige and Leanne, and she says that she appreciates how mature Connor is being and how he's given her space, and basically kind of alluding to the fact that she misses him and that she thinks that she might like regular Connor more. Paige is saying, yeah, she likes her and regular Connor together, and I'm just like, Paige, shut the fuck up, please. Yeah, again with this hot and coldness, I just don't get it. I really don't get what is so special about regular Connor. We also see Mike and Leanne go on a date. Obviously, they're getting more screen time now. Obviously, a lot of people were complaining. And this basically leads me to believe that Mike is going to stay on the show. I feel like if they were going to kick him out, he would have been kicked out by now. So I think it's safe to say he's going to be a part of the show. They go on a massage date and they kind of speak about things. He says that he used to be a footballer and he was for a good team, Sheffield United. I'm not really a football fan, so I'm not really sure what rank Sheffield United is. But yeah, if you know about football, let me know if that's a good rank or not. But he basically said that, you know, he left the football team because he wanted to pursue other things. And I'm not sure if I buy that, because why would you voluntarily want to go from for a quote unquote good team to a policeman? I don't buy that, especially since the fact that he's on Love Island in all places instead of pursuing these things that were apparently better than a football career for a good team. I don't know, maybe he's gassing. I feel like maybe he got an injury, maybe he got cut from the team. I don't know, that just sounds dodgy to me, but what do you guys think? But anyway, we learned some other stuff. Obviously, they're both from Ghana and they both say that they're from the same town or whatever. I'm Congolese and we have like tribes and stuff. So, but they didn't really go into tribes and stuff. In terms of like categorization, do you just like, if you're Ghanaian, do you just like have like identify people by like where they live in Ghana or by their tribes? But yeah, I think it was a cute day. So also, you know, Naz, you know, he's looking for a girl. Shauna's hyping him up. You know, he's saying he trusts in his source. And you know what? I just feel like the new girl is probably not going to be interested in Naz. Obviously, on the app, I've already read she's interested in Mike, Callum, and Hot Connor. So it's just going to be a long road for my guy Naz. But did anyone else kind of catch it? He was kind of taking the piss out of Callum and Connor. Like, basically told Callum that Shauna was only with him for his looks. And then he was taking the piss out of Connor and basically saying he had no source. But he said it in a jokey way, but I think he 100% meant it and he was being very shady. But yeah, I stand shady Naz. I can tell he's like sick of these people. So Connor and Sophie catch up and, you know, she says that she's missing him and asks him if he'd entertain another girl if he came in. He says no, he wouldn't. And basically that he's all about her, and she kind of basically says the same thing, but then he says, you know, obviously I'm going to leave you to make some decisions, and whatever decision you decide, just let me know. And like I said, hot and cold, it's always hot and cold with Sophie. I feel like she does like regular Connor more, and like I say all the time in all these podcasts, I just don't understand it. I feel like Connor is doing some kind of pagan spell on Sophie to make her like him so much. What do you guys think it is? So then obviously next it is the dirty dancing challenge. Obviously this normally happens later on in the show, so it's interesting that they did it at the beginning, but obviously They both do strip teases, and it's all about the heart rates and whose heart rate you can get up the most. Mike starts off, and of course he's got that Ghanaian booty, that strong round booty. He's putting a lot of welly into the strip tease. He's whining, he's grinding, and I just feel like when he was talking about he quit his football career to pursue other avenues, I think he was doing his little stripper hustle on the side. I think that's what he wanted to pursue, because that was just too natural. It was too natural. It was like he was in his element. Next, it was Finley, and no comment. He didn't really have any sauce. Connor, again, regular Connor, he picks up Sophie. He does this heart rate pounding thing. He kisses her. I didn't really think it was that cute or hot. And then he's just doing all of these stiff hip movements. All the girls are gassing him up. But I'm just thinking, like, for someone who's had sex with over 100 people and your hips to be that stiff, I just don't understand. So I feel like the number is probably so high because people just don't come back to him. But anyway, next it's Naz. And, he makes the effort. And like I said, the girls just don't respect him, because how are they calling his striptease cute? That is just disrespect right there. Then Callum is next. He's decent. His hips are less stiff. So I feel like he was one of the better performers. And then obviously Connor with a G, and then obviously Hot Connor, and that was a sight to see. His body is just so nice to look at, his whole body. He's got a nice little tight bum. He didn't even need to do much. He could have just stood there, and that would have just been enough for me. And also, the way that Connor picked Sophie up just so effortlessly. You see, with Connor, he was struggling a bit. He had to put her on the floor. But you see the way Hot Connor picked her up so effortlessly. That's what I want for my future. But yeah, who was your favourite performance? I think it would have to be between Mike and Connor with a G for the boys. But let me know who your favourite performance was. So next, it's the girls. It's Shanice first. And she's doing her thing, she's doing her thing. The body rolls are a bit stiff, but she's giving it her all. You can tell she thinks that she's Britney Spears or Beyonce on stage. And yeah, she gave a little cute performance. She's talking about setting the bar, so she's obviously thought that she did a really good job. I'm loving the confidence. Shauna's next. A bit lackluster. She wasn't really doing much. She was kind of just standing and then bending over. But I'm not really sure if I was expecting much from her. Paige is next. She did her thing. She worked with what she had. She knows her knees are strong, so she was dipping it and doing it with the knee bends and the drops. Next, it was Leanne. I'm not going to lie, I was a little bit disappointed. It was a bit everywhere, her performance. She was whining, she was whipping people. I just feel like the little preview that we saw in the workroom, I would have thought we would have saw more of that. I think she definitely has the skill set to show out. I think maybe she just got a little bit shy. Jess, again, she worked with what she had. She's got great boobs. So what did she do? She shoved her boobs in everyone's face. So I respect her decision to work with what she has. And then Sophie, again, I feel like she didn't really do much. I just feel like she has a great body and she was just showing off her body and that was it. But yeah, it was cute. She had the best outfit. And then obviously the new girl makes her entrance. Now, the walk-in was iconic. And I feel like this is how they should be introducing these bombshells, because a lot of the ways that they do it is quite predictable. Someone just turns up in the house randomly. Someone gets a text for a date. This is the way that you throw in a bombshell. So the walk was everything. But then what kind of ruined it was the kind of striptease. I feel like maybe because she just got in there, maybe she was a little bit shy, which is understandable. But I feel like she should have showed out. If she really showed out and had them girls mad on the balcony, I mean, they were mad anyway because she's a gorgeous girl. But I felt like she really should have showed out. But, she was in there, she was sitting on people's laps. She was kissing people on the cheek. And I feel like she's a gorgeous girl and she's a new girl as well. I feel like that's really all she really needed to do, to be honest. But I was expecting a little bit more, but I stand the entrance. So Obviously, everybody shook. All the boys are looking around at each other. The boys are looking at each other like I thought they were going to do, like I thought was going to happen. Obviously, now they're all like, oh my gosh, there's a new girl, some fresh meat. They're just so predictable. But anyway, obviously, Callum is being very vocal, saying he looks good. Like, I'm not going to lie, she looks good. Shauna's overhearing on the balcony. She's pissed off. Some of the girls ain't looking too happy. Shanice ain't looking too happy. I don't know why Shanice is looking unhappy, because it's like you don't even have a man anyway. But yeah, the girls are rattled. The heart rate results were as follows. So Paige's heart rate was raised the most by Finn. Shauna's by Callum. Leanne by Hot Connor, which is quite interesting. Sophie by Hot Connor, which was also interesting. I just feel like it's very clear she didn't listen to her heart. Regular Connor did all that, picked her up, did the heart to heart and kissed her, and it still wasn't enough to raise her heart rate. Girl, listen to your heart. And then Shanice was by Hot Connor. Again, not a surprise, she finds him attractive. Jess was by Mike. Interesting. I would have thought maybe it would be by Callum, so that was quite interesting. And then Connor with a G, Sophie. That's nice to see. Finn was by Paige. This is quite interesting because she literally basically did nothing to him, so he must really like her. And regular Connor was by Rebecca, which is quite interesting because it wasn't Sophie, so that just doesn't look very good. And then Callum was by Rebecca, which is again interesting because Shauna, even though her performance wasn't that great, she kissed him. And, you know, this Rebecca girl really didn't do that much. And Mike was raised by Sophie, which is quite interesting. Very interesting. What do we think about that, guys? And then Naz was raised the most by Jess, which is, again, quite interesting. I feel like maybe he might be moving on from Shanice to Jess. And I hope he doesn't, because the only thing that is going to meet him there is rejection. A development, they're not letting the new girl pick the dates, they're letting the heart rate results pick the dates. And therefore, because regular Connor and Callum's heart rate was raised the most by her, they get to go on a date with her. Okay, you know what? I have to applaud the producers for this. This is class TV production. So then obviously we see the first look. Shauna isn't happy and Sophie isn't happy. And it looks like both Connor and Callum are entertaining this girl. And out of the pair of them, it looks like Callum has the best chance. And obviously Shauna's upset. She's saying this always happens to me. And I just feel like it's time for Shauna to look for another man, because Callum is very young. He's never had a girlfriend, and yet he slept with so many people. I feel like 23, he's still young. He's still young. He's not at that age where he wants to commit to people. So he's not at that age where he wants to commit to someone. And even though Shauna seems like a nice girl, I don't think her as a person is enough for him to change his ways. Yeah, I just feel like Shauna just needs to let him go. But what do you guys think? Are you rooting for Shauna or Callum? Or do you feel like Shauna just needs to find someone else? So on Twitter, people are saying the girls are being dramatic. I think it was Shauna who said his heart chose her. I think it was Shauna who said it. But yeah, that was a little bit dramatic. People are here for the drama of the new girl raising people's heart rates. People are zooming into that picture with Shanice. Yeah, did you see Shanice's reaction? She looked like crazy. She looked deranged. I'm just like, girl, no one's in a couple with you. Who are you upset about being stolen? People are upset about Callum being interested in the new girl because they just want Callum and Shauna to be happy with each other. But like I said, I just don't think that they're endgame. People are saying that the reason why Shanice was shook is because she realises that she's going home in the next recoupling. But I think it's actually girls' pick next, so I'm pretty sure she's safe for the next recoupling. People are saying that they're not really sure what people see in Rebecca. Rebecca is gorgeous, let's not lie. She's good. She's a good-looking girl. People are not sure why Sophie is getting emotional. Honestly, I feel like I'm done with Sophie. Like, I'm actually done with her. Like, I'm done with her and her decisions. People are calling out Connor for his heart rate not being raised by Sophie. And people are saying that Shauna needs a new man. That's what I'm saying. Those of you wondering, my handle is at shannonbafundilaenquiries. The link's in the bio. But yeah, let me know what you thought of this episode. Let me know what you thought of this podcast. What do you think of the new girl? And what do you think of the latest developments? Do you think she's going to be interested in Callum? Do you think she's going to be interested in regular Connor? Who else in the house do you think that she might be interested in? And do you think Callum and Shauna are endgame? Subscribe if you haven't yet, and if you have, don't forget to put your notification bell on so you know when the next podcast is dropping. Until next time, guys, bye!